Hi everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today. We are going to be looking at home and family. Okay, so whatever that is for you in your situation, we're going to be looking at different dynamics, I suppose, for everybody. But what really is your, home is where the heart is. So we're looking at, the people that live with you in your physical home and or your closest family. Okay, so your close-knit family, where we're not really looking at, extended family unless they are all very, very close to you on a physical level as well as emotionally. Okay, so home and family, the ones that feel like the little family home bubble to you. Okay, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. I do really appreciate that. It really does help the channel grow, so thank you all so much. Today I am going to be using the Doors of Destiny Oracle deck. We are going to get one card for each of you from that, and then also the postcards Lenormand to clarify. Okay, timestamps will be in the description box, so you're more than welcome to jump ahead to different placements or check out placements of, family members or whatever. And we will start ourselves off with Aries. Okay, Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to home and family? Messages for Aries in regard to home and family, please. The Dream Walker, Aries. Okay, dreams, the collective good, and illusions. So there is a focus here within the home. A lot of people in the home may be having some very interesting dreams at the moment, and there's a kind of a need to look into those dreams, especially your own, as to what the deeper meaning of those dreams is in relation to the people that you're dreaming about. Because I feel like a lot of you are dreaming about members of the family of the home, and there's sort of certain messages that you're needing to understand or receive in regards to that, but it does also talk about what's good for the collective and illusions. So it's talking about needing to remove any illusionary deceit between people within the family. So it's kind of that energy of not needing to look good on the surface, not needing to just go with things just for the sake of holding up appearances, where we're wanting to get to the truth of things and understand that what's actually good for the collective, not really what you might find is the best thing for you, but what's good for everyone. Like, because sometimes with family situations, what's good for you may not actually be good for the ease of getting along with everybody else. So putting somebody else's ish on the table may actually cause more harm than good. So just being aware of those sorts of things as well, Aries. But having a look here with the Lenormand, home and family. What's going on for Aries with home and family? Messages for Aries in regard to home and family. Relatively positive energy here. We have the tree coming through first. So there is a bit of growth and maturity happening, as a whole here, learning a little bit more about how to deal with each other, get along with each other, that kind of thing. Some of you maybe, there may be somebody in the home physically healing, somebody may be having some ill health, and everyone's sort of getting in to take care of this person. I kind of feel with that. We do see the Christmas tree in this particular card there, which does align very strongly with this bouquet, the flowers coming through next for you here, Aries. So it's the spirit of giving. Okay, giving, to the collective good, making sure that we are, doing our part, I suppose, to, do what's best for everybody rather than just being, selfish and only thinking about ourselves. We do need to be thinking about the collective good and giving a little bit more of our time, our love, our energy to the people that are closest to us, so that you can receive back as well. Gifts, we give gifts and we receive gifts with both of those energies there. So the gift, maybe, you're giving your time and then somebody is giving you love in return for that, or other things or whatever, making things easier for you around the home, that sort of thing. So, pitching in and helping out, it seems to be a strong message here. We do have the sun coming through as well. So a lot of just general happiness in the home at the moment. There may be the need to open the curtains and literally let the sun in a little bit more, spend time out in the backyard in the sun together, that kind of stuff as well. Some happy, positive, warm energy around the home. So for some of you, there is a little bit of extra warmth needing to be brought into the home, even just a heater. But like I said, opening up the windows a little bit there and letting the sun shine through, all that sort of stuff as well. But generally a lot of happiness, a lot of growth as a family unit coming through for you here, Aries. Very positive kind of energy. Okay, you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what's going on for Taurus with home and family? Messages for Taurus in regard to home and family, please. The High Lord of Gratitude and Service coming through for you here, Taurus. Selflessness, humility, and conscious action. So there is a need for you to, be grateful for what you do have around you, the people that you do have around you. And, there is the need to be a little bit more of service to them in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't mean you have to be, the slave of the house and whatnot, but, pitching in and just doing little things like, oh look, I'll take that to the sink for you, and just little things, ways to show your gratitude for having these people in your life. I feel like it is really just the smallest little acts of selflessness are going to make the biggest difference here for you, Taurus. Clarifying this energy for Taurus. Taurus, what's going on for Taurus with house and family? Home and family. I wanted to say house there, Taurus. I have been getting a lot of messages for you lately in regard to the physical home of yourself there. We do have the stork coming through. So maybe this is why you're needing to sort of get in this gratitude energy, and be sort of willing to serve the people around you, is because something is getting stirred up here. Maybe somebody's stirring you up intentionally. Somebody may be stirring up something. It feels like it's actually something going on around you within your home, your family, that, because of this coffin card that comes through next. The coffin is an ending that creates new beginnings, but, the stork really does stir things up. I really hate to say it, Taurus, but for a couple of you, this may be related to a miscarriage in somebody around you, and it's kind of really somebody needing your help. I feel needing your service, needing you to help them out and be of service to them in some kind of way, even if that's just giving them that shoulder to cry on kind of thing, because that whatever's coming to an end for this person is something that's kind of getting stirred up, but then that actually leads to something ending. It leads to the death of a situation for somebody, so it could be a breakup for a couple of them, the family members here as well, or just something. I'm just trying to get the clarity come through there. The stork is also telling me here that this could actually have something to do with a hospital or nursing. It doesn't normally talk about those things with that stork energy, but it could have something to do with, a hospital stay or some sort of nursing type issue. It is talking about pregnancy issues as well. So it may not even be a miscarriage. It may just be some sort of pregnancy issue, something coming to an end. It could also be menopause, the somebody getting to that stage of life where the ability to fall pregnant is no longer. So there is, for some of you here, there may be an operation or something along those lines happening as well. It does feel like it may be health related for a couple of you here, but something is coming to an end for somebody around you here, and you know, this person just really struggles to get back on their feet and find the new beginning that comes from that. So the coffin really is, it's a transition, it's a transformational time, and it's something ending for somebody, and a death and then a rebirth, but they're just really struggling for the rebirth side of things. Okay, which is understandable when big things happen in our lives. We have the clouds coming through here, so it's kind of like a bit of a storm warning coming through for someone around you, Taurus, that they are going to struggle getting over this, getting on the other side of this storm. They're going to be sort of very muchly up in their head, overthinking things, very anxious, maybe depressed. Depression definitely could be at play here, for some of you here. So I am sort of picking up on that definitely for some of you here, that there could be some severe depression issues going on for somebody as well. But it's just kind of, and I'm also picking up on dementia. And those sorts of things as well, because the clouds can quite frequently talk about confusion, and somebody who's just, their judgment is not clear anymore, somebody making bad decisions, and they're just not a clear judgment. So it does feel as though you are going to be needing to prepare to support somebody in some kind of a way around the home or family here, Taurus. So sorry it's such a deep sort of message there for you, Taurus, but that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, or have a look at other family members' placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini. What's going on for our Geminis when it comes to house and home and family? I don't know why I keep saying house. You're another one where there may be some physical changes going on in your actual housing situation. Okay, Gemini. Home and family for Gemini. Cosmos. Vastness and creativity. Thinking outside the square, Gemini. Really thinking. I spoke about this in our last reading, I believe, for you, this limitless energy, that sky's the limit. Think beyond the standard thoughts when it comes to everything going on for you, that there's an expansion going on for you with home and family as well. For some of you, you may be getting new family members coming into the home, or into the the family unit here. There's this vastness where it's, I feel like for some of you too, you are connecting to like a huge amount of people here as family, that you maybe are considering a lot more people as the sanctity of family to you, rather than just blood. You may be sort of incorporating a lot of people into your little family unit. But there is this creativity coming through as well. But we'll have a look and see what that's all about here. Gemini. Home and family for Gemini. Oh, it is just telling me too, Gemini, there's a couple of you that, yes, go ahead and get that new artwork. There is an artwork that you're wanting to bring into the home. Yes, you should go ahead and do that. It will actually really help, the creative energy of the home. All right, I'm just picking up on that there. Gemini, home and family for our Geminis. For some of you, it may even be, something to do with astrology, or, stars, or the cosmos in some kind of a way. There may be some sort of artwork with stars in it, or planets, or the sun, or like as a feature point in the artwork. So that's just a side message for someone there. Firstly, we have the garden coming through. Okay, so if you do have a garden in the home, there may be important need to, spend a little bit more time out in the garden, and just sit out on the back deck with a coffee, or whatever that is for your situation there, spending time with the family in the garden, doing those sorts of things. There may be a big important event coming up in the family situations here as well, like a wedding, or some sort of party coming through. So there may even be like a backyard party coming up for you soon. I'm also getting here that For some of you, you're actually going out and meeting up with somebody outside of the home. There's some sort of social public space that may become, you know, an extension of the home in some kind of a way, where we're having maybe an event at somewhere more public, somewhere more, you know, bigger. That becomes kind of an extension of the family in some sort of weird way. But there may be like a somewhere out in public, somewhere sociable that you all like to gather at. You know, so maybe you all go to a certain restaurant all the time, or you all go down to the local park or beach together and things like that. So that may be a very important part of this family. It just feels like it's just wanting to talk about that is actually an extension of your family here. This place, this event is actually the sense of family is very strong around that there. But you may be meeting extra people that are sort of, you know, once again, that expansion energy where you're welcoming new people into the family grouping here, and having other people, you know, coming in and becoming part of the family grouping. We do see the crossroad coming through. So some sort of choice or decision coming through for the family as well. It does have to do with this bear energy. Okay. Now this could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Capricorn person, or it could be like the boss of the family, the matriarch or the patriarch of the family. Okay. So that they may have a big decision coming up that is going to affect the family situation or affect the family in general. But, you know, there may be the need to, you know, make a conscious decision to put up some boundaries between yourself and family as well. There might just be a little bit of, you know, people overstepping some boundaries, and the need to put up those boundaries a little bit clearer between yourself and other family members. Okay, so some mixed messages there for you, Gemini, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements and cross-watch your family's placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Cancers. Okay, Cancer. Cancer. What does Cancer need to know in regard to home and family? Messages for Cancer in regard to home and family. Oh, I just shuffled the F out of them, and we got the exact same card we had for Gemini. So some of you may be on the cusp dealing with Geminis, or you know, the Gemini energy is just very strong. There may be twins in your family that we're looking at here as well. It does talk about creativity and vastness. But I actually feel for you here, there is some sort of relevance, Cancer, to the actual cosmos, you know, astrology, astronomy, you know, getting out together and looking at the stars and things like that, you know, doing things together at the moon cycles or something along those lines. Maybe a way to help connect with your family at the moment. It does feel like there is some actual, you know, vastness connection to the actual space coming through for you. So maybe there is something about space as well. Cancer. Home and family messages for Cancer, please. Home is where the heart is. Okay, we have the heart coming through. A lot of love here. A lot of support coming through here. We have the gentleman coming through as well. I do feel as though there is a need for you to connect to this masculine energy just a little bit more. So a lot of you are going to immediately know straight away who this masculine is. For quite a lot of you, this is probably a father figure, or a, you know, an older brother or an uncle figure, you know, an older male, or you know, it is most likely a male for a lot of you, a patriarchal energy coming through there, and there's just the need for them to remember that they are loved and supported, and a need for them to feel comfortable to open up a little bit more emotionally. They're just needing a little bit of extra kindness at the moment. We have the lilies as well. So this is probably someone who is actually quite older. You know, the lilies does talk about retirement age, you know, the old age type, you know, end of life age. So it probably is, you know, an elderly person in the family here. And they are just needing a little bit extra love and support, a little bit of opportunity to open up emotionally. The lilies is a very emotional, vulnerable energy. And it does ask us for kindness. It does ask us for, you know, health concerns being taken care of, especially around heart issues for this particular person. It does ask us to look at things like, you know, retirement villages and things like that, maybe sort of coming up as some sort of, you know, issue that needs to be looked at the minute, because it does sort of talk about, you know, what's the long-term solution to help this person, what's the long-term, what does this person need, the care that this person may need, and for quite a lot of you it may actually be talking about, you know, looking at retirement villages and things like that, especially with the creativity and the vastness, though there may be something that you haven't really thought about, that is a potential solution to this issue as well. But I feel like for a lot of you, this person just needs to have someone to talk to more than anything. It feels as though they just need someone to talk to, and maybe they're just feeling a little bit left out, a little bit, you know, not heard at the minute. I feel like for some of you, this person is actually having some health issues around the heart as well, and it's just not being picked up because nobody is asking them. Nobody is sitting down with them and talking to them and realizing that something is going on. Okay, so really maybe pay attention to this person in the family there, Cancer. Okay, so a bit of a specific message for you there, but you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, what's going on for Leo with home and family? Home and family messages for Leo. Ooh, the Hungry Ghosts, Leo. This is a very interesting energy. This one talks about obsessions, scarcity consciousness, and attachment. Okay, so somebody, is it you, Leo? Somebody is a little bit it's like this, it's this mindset where we kind of get stuck in this mindset sometimes where, you know, we don't have enough, so we feel like we never have enough. And then even when, you know, we do have enough, we still feel like we don't have enough. And so we like start hoarding things and things like that. And it becomes a bit of an obsession to you know, because we're so used to not having, and it's like a lack mindset, you know, and it's quite often, you know, quite often happens, especially with, you know, food insecurities and things like that, where, you know, if you've been raised or you're in a situation where, you know, food is not a given and you don't know when you're going to have enough food, you feel like you never have enough food, that kind of thing. When you do have food, you kind of stockpile it and you get very obsessive about knowing exactly, you know, how much food you've got and having to always have extra, and it can become like a bit of an obsession, a bit of a hoarding thing, and it can become a bit of an issue, you know, that you know, you may start overeating because you're so used to not having enough that when you do have enough, you sort of overdo it a little bit there. So that's coming through as well. So somebody has some attachment to something that you never had before, and now that you've got that, you're kind of getting a little bit obsessive about it, a little bit overdoing it. And it may not be, you know, food insecurity. It could be a lot of different things. Like, you know, I'm picking up that for someone here, it may be that you've never had, you know, you've never had that familial kind of love. And now that you do have it, you get a little bit, you know, clingy and obsessive with it, you know, things like that coming through. It's just like you're just hungry. You're hungry all the time for more and more and more and more and more of that because you never had it, or you never had enough of it. Okay, but we'll see if it wants to go into a bit more detail here for you, Leo. Leo, home and family for Leo. Home and family for Leo. So I'm picking up also that for some of you, it's an attachment. It's an attachment to people in the way that, you know, you maybe were brought up without sisters, for example. And so you now have an attachment to having female friends in your life and you get a little bit overly attached to them, and you really try to you get a little bit too much sometimes, because you're trying to have this sister relationship with every female that you meet, you know, that kind of as an example. So that is coming through there as well. Leo, home and family for our Leos. And so it's like yeah, it's just a little bit of obsessiveness. And okay, and okay, well, this is giving us a little bit more clarity about what this may be involving, because firstly we have the rats, the mice card coming through here. So this is something from your past that, you know, you feel as though you missed out on, or you lost the opportunity to have that, you know, as the example of the sister. Some of you may have even lost a sister in the past as well, and that's why you're now sort of getting a little bit clingy onto other, or I want to say other females, but you know, females in regards to, oh, you're my sister now kind of thing, because you don't want to lose these people because you've lost something in the past, and it stresses you out that you might lose that again in the future. So you do sort of get a little bit, you overdo it just a little bit with the attachment to that thing. Okay, for some of you, it's not like the sister thing. It's not that. It's got to do here with travel. For some of you, we have the ship there. So for some of you, it's kind of like you lost opportunities to travel, or you never had opportunities to travel when you were a child, and now that you are able to do that, you kind of get a bit obsessed with, you know, this holiday has to be perfect. We have to go on, you know, X amount of holidays. We have to go here, and we have to try the, you know, the sense of adventure, because your sense of your adventurous spirit was limited when you were a child. I'm saying child because I've got the tower here as well. So this is something coming from your foundation. Okay, so most likely coming from your childhood here, and something that you feel like you've missed out on. You've lost your childhood in a sense here. You lost the ability to have an adventurous spirit as a child, or have that certain adventure as a child. So even the example of, you know, having a sister, that was an adventure that maybe you always wanted to have a sister, and you missed out on that adventure. So, you know, it kind of all fits into this here, you know, regardless of what part of the collective you are. For some of you it is a sister, but for others of you it's a little bit broader, like it may be actual travel, it may be actual something to do with this sense of adventure, or an adventure that you missed out on as a child. I never got to experience that, so now that I can experience that, I'm hungry for it, and I want it all the time, and I get a little bit obsessive with it, and I overdo it a little bit. Okay, so it's just bringing that up here with your home and your family. Rather than bringing up anything about the home and the family, it's actually bringing that particular issue up that's within you yourself, Leo. So, you know, you may want to have a bit of a think about that one, and work from there. But that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, cross-watch your family's placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, home and family messages for our Virgos. Home and family for the Virgos. Ooh, the Desert Prince. Survival, false promises. Okay, so who's this that's letting you down, Virgo? Somebody in the family that kind of leaves you feeling as though you're the only one that's holding the family together. That you've got to do what you have to take care of the family's survival, that you're the one holding everything together, that, you know, somebody maybe makes promises that, oh, I'll help out with this and I'll help out with that, but they kind of never actually do. So, bit of a, you yourself are very strong, Virgo, and you are very capable of doing this, but it's just like too much responsibility on your shoulders here. Virgo, home and family for Virgo, please. Messages in regard to home and family for our Virgos. Okay, so we see the ring coming through first here, Virgo. So the ring actually in this situation is talking about this pattern, this cycle of false promises, this cycle of I'll help out, but then they never do. This cycle of I'll take care of the family, but then they never do. This pattern of you being the one that has to take charge of you're the one that you're the reason that the family survives is because you're doing it all, Virgo. It's all on your shoulders, kind of thing. And we do need to sort of make a bit of a decision about where that's taking the family. We have the crossroad there. So it's making a conscious decision as to what can we do to change this pattern, to break this cycle. Yes, there is strong connections here, but, how can we grow as a family and heal this issue, heal this pattern, heal this crack where I'm the one that has to take everything on. We have the tree here as well. So the tree is also your card, Virgo. So it does talk about, deciding to, move forward and choose the path that leads us to, healing the cracks and growing as a family and, finding the wisdom and maturity as a family to get a little bit more on board together, because you can see here with this Christmas tree, everyone's sort of standing around the tree holding hands. So the growth is needing to be, linking our energy a little bit more and everyone helping out and taking responsibility, not just Virgo, and asking for a little bit of help when you need it, Virgo, and not, deciding on ways that you can actually help the people within the family, realize that they're making false promises and finding growth and maturity within their own selves in order to, fulfill their role within the family, because this pattern cannot continue. And for some of you, there is maybe one of you here where the decision is to heal and grow separately because you just cannot bear the load anymore, kind of thing. That you it's kind of that energy of sometimes the growth and healing needs to happen because we choose to walk away. So I am picking that up for just maybe one or two of you. The rest of you, you are sort of deciding on, how can I approach this situation and how can I heal this situation and how can I break this cycle here and ensure that this family does survive. So once again, you're taking on that role of making sure that the family survives, but you're now doing so in a way where the healing needs to happen a little bit more togetherness and growth as a whole, as a unit, rather than just me on my shoulders, Virgo. So that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, moving on to Libra. Libra, what's going on for Libra with home and family? What does Libra need to know in regards to home and family? The word Lord. Okay, communication, praise, and dishonesty. All right, so having to be very careful with our words at the moment with the family, Libra, but also having to read between the lines a little bit with everybody else's words, and because it's not that someone is being outright dishonest, it's just that somebody is not saying something, but you can sort of pick up on that if you're listening carefully. But communication and needing to make sure we are communicating clearly and honestly with people around us at the minute. Libra, home and family. What messages does Libra need today in regard to home and family? Interesting. So this does seem to be relevant to one specific person within the family grouping. We do start off here with the anchor. Okay, so you kind of are the anchor of this family, Libra, I feel. You are the one that holds everything together. You're the one that, you know, is the one that's reliable and dependable, and everyone, you know, needs you in the family to help them get through all their storm energy. All right. But what's going on here? We have the broom and the gentleman. Okay. So someone's trying to sweep something under the rug with that. And, you know, it's kind of, the broom is also the whip, so it's kind of like they're trying to avoid a conflict here by sweeping things under the rug. They're just trying to sweep it out of our, you know, we're not communicating about that because I'm trying to sweep it under the rug. I'm trying to avoid a fight here. But, you know, it feels like this is something that you're going to pick up on. And, you know, in all honesty, it does feel like a little bit blame alert here with this person does seem to see you as so dependable that you will start a fight about something. So there is the need to communicate about this in a non-conflicting way. So you're not allowing this person to sweep it under the rug, so to speak, but you're addressing it, but you're not allowing it to become, you know, an argument or a conflict and the cause of tension, because, you know, I'm kind of feeling like it's already causing tension between the two of you, and that's just going to exacerbate if it's not actually clearly communicated here. But it does feel as though there is someone around you in the family that is trying to sweep that under the rug a little bit here. Now, that gentleman, it most likely is a male for a lot of you here, you know, but, you know, I don't normally genderize the lenormand. It could just be somebody who is very logical, rational type person. They're someone that doesn't deal with the emotional stuff, and that's part of why they're trying to avoid this, is because they know that it's going to maybe stir up some emotion, and that there's emotions involved here. So that's part of why they're trying to sort of sweep it under the rug. So just something to keep in mind here, that, you know, it's kind of, and it's also telling me with the word Lord card here, the word praise is right in the center, and it's kind of telling me that this is the way that you can get around this energy here, Libra, that you can make sure that this is addressed. It's kind of, you know, the way that you deal with children. So for some of you, this may be, you know, a child that is doing this, or your child or a child. It's kind of saying, you know, how when you're dealing with children, sometimes you've got to butter them up a little bit in order to get to the truth of the matter, and you kind of praise them for telling you the full story and then wait for them to tell the whole story. So you're kind of tricking them a little bit, not in a bad way, but you're praising them in a way where you know that it's going to make them a little bit more open to actually have the conversation. So just a little hint for you there, Libra. A little trick up your sleeve is praise when it comes to dealing with this situation. Okay, so but yeah, there's definitely emotions involved in that, and I feel as though you're sort of picking up that there's something there, but you know, someone's trying to sweep it under the rug and not talk about it directly, kind of thing. So you may need to be a little bit tricky with the way that you're dealing about that, but it does just feel as though they're worried about, you know, kind of getting yelled at or you know, starting a fight with you, to be honest. So just keep that in mind. All right, that's the only reason that they seem to be sort of hiding this or sweeping this under the rug. Okay, Libra, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, what is going on for Scorpio with home and family? Home and family messages for Scorpio. Oh, the Swan Queen. That's a hard one to sort of see the picture on that one. Honestly, even when I'm looking at it in real life, it's hard to see the picture. Transformation, intuition, and patience. Okay, Scorpio. So there's the need to, understand that because it's that message about the ugly duckling turns into the swan, right? And the swan prince turns, it's the swan that turns into a prince. So there's a lot of transformative energy associated with swans, and you just needing to sort of be patient and allow that person to come out into their own. All right, so that's kind of what it feels like. Somebody around you is going through a bit of a transformation. For some of you, it may be you that is sort of going through this transformation at the moment, and you're sort of waiting for yourself to become the swan, or the prince, as it may be. But you do need to be patient with that transformation, that this may just take a little bit longer, and it just feels like pushing it is going to make this situation harder, worse. So don't push it too much. All right, but we'll have a look here and see what else wants to come through. Scorpio, home and family for our Scorpios. I'm also hearing, you're trying to push someone out of the nest. So there's a Scorpio here where you may be trying to push someone out of the nest a little bit, and that transformation, it is coming, but you just need to allow a little bit more time and allow them to do that on their own terms, is what I'm sort of getting. Yeah, because there's something going on in the background, that because we have the garden coming through first, okay? So it's kind of like there is something going on in the background here with this transformation. So I do feel like for majority of you, this is somebody outside of yourself. They are meeting up with someone. They're meeting up with something, getting out and about, spending a lot more time with friends and whatnot, out in public, out being sociable. They may be dating. So for some of you, you may not know this, that they're dating somebody. Because I am picking up on a very strong energy here of like a parent watching, and this is your child. So I'm kind of picking up on that quite strongly here for some of you, that this person, and it's this kicking out of the nest energy again, that don't rush them, because you may not even know yet, but there is some stuff going on here behind the scenes where they're meeting someone. Maybe they haven't even met them yet, but they're meeting somebody where that's actually going to get them out and about a lot more, out of your hair kind of thing. And we do have the sun, so it will be revealed in time. We also have the letter here as well. So, that it will be communicated, and you will sort of learn about this in time. It will come out into the light in time here, but you're needing to just be patient with that and allow this person to express themselves when they are ready, rather than forcing that. All right. So, you may start to just notice this person spending a lot more time out of the house. They may even mention they're going on dates, or they're meeting up with friends, they're going to events, all those sorts of things. They may be somebody also, I'm picking up someone going to, mentioning that they're going to a library or a museum and art galleries, things like that. But, there's a lot of happiness that they're going to share with you. But this is a happy thing, that they will express it as a happy thing. And for a lot of you, this is kind of what you've been waiting for. It's kind of that energy of, waiting for your child to really come into their own and start their own life, rather than, hanging on mum's apron strings kind of thing. So it does feel like that kind of energy, and there is some stuff going on behind the scenes that, if you're the mother, you may not be privy to that information just as of yet. All right, but it will happen, and they will have this conversation with you. They will express what's been going on for them, and be patient, trust your intuition, because there is some stuff going on that they may not be telling you immediately. But they are you may just sort of start to notice them getting out and about a lot more, and you're kind of wondering, oh, wonder what's going on there. And your intuition sort of telling you, oh, something's going on, but they're not talking to me about it. But don't push them, okay? You need to have patience with this person around you. Okay, so I know that that was quite specific, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Sagittarius, home and family messages for Sagittarius. The Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Ooh, that's got a lovely ring to it, doesn't it? The Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Discernment, clear vision, and details. So I feel like you are just kind of sitting back, watching and observing and learning a lot. You're seeing a lot of details that are happening, and you're scrutinizing every little thing at the minute. What is that in regard to Sagittarius? Home and family. Some of you may be living with a Scorpio, yeah? Or have strong Scorpio placements. Sagittarius, home and family. What's going on for Sagittarius with home and family, please? Someone thinks they're being sneaky, but they're not. This is why you're scrutinizing somebody, because someone thinks that they're being sneaky, but they are not. Okay, we have the fox here. Someone they may be being a little bit perceived as selfish, immature a little bit here too. They may be trying to play games a little bit, if that makes sense. I feel like it's just kind of, in the playing games kind of sense, it's just like they're just trying to mess with you a little bit, Sagittarius, it feels like. And they think they're being real sneaky. They think that they're being very sneaky about this. It's just kind of this energy of like, they just keep moving something in the home, and you're like, you've been noticing something moving all the time, and everyone's going, oh, I didn't touch it, but you're like, it's moved. And so you're scrutinizing every little detail, and you're scrutinizing everyone's little faces to see who's doing it, because it's like someone's messing with me here. I know it, and so you are like really trying to discern what exactly is going on here. Why do they keep doing this? Do you know what it is too? It's because we have the bear and the house coming through here. Okay. To be honest, Sagittarius, a lot of the Sagittarius that this is for are a parent. Okay. And this is showing you that you've done a good job. You've done a good job with these children or child, for them to feel comfortable enough to do this, okay? Because it's not being done in a mean kind of way or anything like that. It's just somebody being a little bit they're trying to be clever. Like it just feels like they're just playing games and they're trying to be clever. And they think they're so smart, but you're just like, you're not. It just really, it does feel like that, a kid trying to play a joke on a parent, and the parents all over it. The parent can see through their ish immediately, and that's you. It feels like you're the parent in this situation. So for some of you, it may be like a roommate. It may not be a child per se. It may be like a roommate or a brother or a sister or something like that doing this for you. But it means that you've kind of done a good job. It means that you have a good relationship with this person, because they see you as this teddy bear that it's fun to poke the bear. That's what they're doing. They're poking the bear. They're trying to poke the bear. They're we have the bear coming out. They're trying to poke the bear. All right, but it shows us that, especially if you're a parent, you've nurtured this kid, and you've you've set clear boundaries, and this is something that it's just like they're trying to push the boundaries a little bit with you, and to see how far they can push it and see how far they can get with this, and it's because of the house. Okay, they feel stable and secure. They're safe to do this with you. So, it's just something, it's just a silly little thing. But it's kind of it's kind of like a reassurance to you that you've done the right job, like that you've done a good job at having a relationship with this person, that they feel safe to do this with you. Yeah. Because if there wasn't such a close relationship there, they would never feel safe enough to do this with you. And they feel safe to do this with you. So for some of you, I'm picking up too that this is your, I'm hearing son's girlfriend doing it. But it's because, once again, they feel safe to do this with you. They feel that they can get away with it, that it's fun. Like they just think it's funny. It's nothing really huge. But you're scrutinizing the ish out of this, and it's kind of like, because it's kind of telling me that I'm giving the joke away by telling you this energy. I'm giving the joke away, so now you'll know exactly who it was, and you'll know that they're doing it just to mess with you. They're just trying to poke the bear, and like I kind of feel like the reason I'm telling you this is so that you can actually start playing back and start messing with them in some kind of way. So have fun with that. That's a very interesting message, Sagittarius. And to be honest, like, very light-hearted, loving kind of energy. And it's much better than some of the messages we definitely could have gotten, right? So sometimes the messages that come out, if there's nothing huge and dramatic going on, we get these little fun things come through. It's so cool. I'm really excited for you that's the biggest issue going on around your energy at the minute when it comes to home and family. It's a positive thing. Okay, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel. More than welcome to check out your other placements or check out the other family members' placements as well. And we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay, Capricorn. What's going on for our Capricorns with home and family? Home and family messages for our Capricorns. Oh, the Altar Priestess. I don't think I've seen this card come out before, to be honest, but it's a very Capricorn energy card to get. I'm constantly talking about Capricorn. You are, this is the Altar Priestess, and I know it's incorrect information, but to me, you guys are like the High Priestess in tarot, even though that's not your card at all. Your card is the Devil, but you guys are more like, you're actually the High Priestess in a lot of ways. And we're seeing that here because you guys are so spiritual, and people just don't realize how spiritual Capricorn is, and the connection that Capricorn has with the spirit. So preparation, prayer, and sacred rituals. All right, so very spiritual energy here. Preparation, prayer, and sacred rituals. So I do feel like for some of you here, this is talking about you preparing a new tradition in the family. Okay, we have certain traditions that we all do certain things at Christmas time. Our family does this and your family does that, and so there's all these different rituals that we all undertake, and you're kind of creating your own, Capricorn. It kind of feels like you are creating your own ritual or tradition within your family here, and it's it feels really nice, but it's because you are so connected on a spiritual energy that people sort of look to you as the spiritual guidance of the family. That if anyone's able to do this, it's Capricorn. That even if you're not the actual matriarch or patriarch of the family, you kind of are looked to as that, whether you realize that or not. People do see you as that role. So that's very interesting. Capricorn. Home and family messages for Capricorn. Definitely a lot of spiritual energy for you here, Capricorn. Firstly, we have the lilies. Okay, so the lilies is very open and vulnerable energy as well. It's very, it's very kind, very moral. We do see that coming through with the Tower. So we do see a very high opinion of you being shown here. very strong morals, very, you know, the foundation of Capricorn is very strong morals and kindness and, you know, long-term energy. That Capricorn is someone who will do what is necessary for the good of the family, and they will prepare things, you know, in the right ways, and their rituals are solid and you know, create brand new foundations within the family here. So very intimate energy, very intimate energy there, sacred sort of intimate energy. So, you know, this definitely does appear to be some sort of foundation that you're putting in place here for the long term. This is a long-term foundation that you're kind of putting in place with the family. For a lot of you, though, it's not actually that you're putting this in place, it's that you're getting rid of it. Okay, so you're getting rid of certain traditions within the family that no longer serve. You know, so the family may have a tradition of doing something that, you know, you're seeing that now and going, it's not a time and place for that ritual anymore. This world is not applicable for that to be occurring anymore, because we do have the broom here. Okay, so you're getting rid of all the cobwebs here. You're sweeping out the cobwebs of the traditional structures to the family, the things that don't work anymore. This is curse breaker type stuff, Capricorn. This is you know, ancestral healing stuff that you're, you know, some of the things that have been traditional in your family for a very long time, you are changing because it's not applicable to the world we live in. It's not applicable to you, your energy, your family's energy. So you're changing those things. You're creating new traditions, and you're changing the rituals so that they're not embracing things that are not showing kindness, that are not showing high morals. You know, those sorts of things. You're changing those. You know, so this is actually kind of, yeah. Once again, I'm getting that word curse breaker kind of stuff. You know, you're sweeping out all the ish. You're getting rid of all the dust and things that just make the family brought down spiritually, and you're raising the vibration. Pardon me. For some of you too, it's got to do with the way that we, you know, for some of you, it may have to do with a foundational conflict, a foundational argument, like a structure of conflict within the family unit here as well, because the broom is the whip card, which can talk about troubles, tensions, conflicts, those sorts of things, you know, arguments and whatnot. So it could be, you know, you're changing that tradition, and we're teaching people to show kindness, to argue with kindness, to argue in a healthy way, where we resolve issues rather than we exacerbate issues and end up in a big fight. You know, so for some of you it may be more along those lines there, but I do feel for majority of you this is, you're sweeping out the old traditions so that we can start over new. And maybe creating some new traditions within the family unit here, Capricorn, or preparing to do things in a brand new way for your family, you know. Okay, but that's what we've got for you, Capricorn. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. I know that was very sort of general there for you, but you're more than welcome to, you know, cross-watch your family placements and whatnot as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Home and family messages for Aquarius. Home and family messages for Aquarius, please. Sisters of the seasons. Okay. Cycles of growth, natural law and divine order. So there's just some progress happening within the family at the minute. Some cycles that are taking place, and you know, things falling into divine order the way that they're supposed to be. So there may be some changes occurring within the family unit at the minute, but it's kind of this natural order, things falling into place and things happening the way that they should. You know, karma being served for someone here as well, maybe for someone here. There may be a strong connection with sisters in your family here as well. But it's kind of this natural progression. It's like for people, you know, maybe have been fighting against certain roles within the family, and now they're sort of falling into place into the roles that, you know, are natural for the family. Which it's not really telling me exactly what that means, but we'll see how we go here with the Lenormand. Aquarius, home and family messages for Aquarius, please. Yeah, some things are changing, that's for sure. We have the scythe coming through first. Okay, so the scythe cuts away the BS basically, and cut it out, like someone cutting it out, you know, and making the changes that have been necessary, that are needed. You know, so somebody is cutting out their BS a little bit here, and making the change that they need to in order to, you know, it's kind of like it's not falling in line to the family, but it's like falling into their natural role within the family. So it's kind of this energy of someone who maybe has been very distant from the family, kind of making changes in their own life so that they can actually come back in and you know, be a role in the family once again. We do have the moon coming through here. So, you know, this person may be a Cancer. We do have Aquarius and Gemini also shining a little bit there with that moon card, even though it is the Cancer energy there. But it's talking about, you know, some emotional triggers, that maybe those are the changes that are happening here. Is somebody is kind of growing and healing a little bit, and things that, you know, emotions that have been stirred up in the past, they're now kind of cutting out the BS and growing and maturing and realizing that, you know, they want to come back into the fold a little bit here. So it's a very interesting message. I do have the bear coming through there as well, so it does sort of let us know that on your end, Aquarius, boundaries are very important here. Okay, not defensiveness. We don't want to be too defensive or aggressive with the bear. We do need to set clear boundaries though. All right, still enabling nurturing energy to come through. You know, standing tall and strong and firm in what you you know, the boundaries. That if you cross this boundary, sorry, that's not going to stand. You know, these are the boundaries. These are the, you know, rules, I suppose, of the family. So, you know, you need to sort of stick to this. Otherwise, we won't be able to tolerate that and you know, whatnot. But that's what we have for you today, Aquarius. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Pisces. Okay, moving on to Pisces. Pisces, what are messages for Pisces in regard to home and family? Home and family messages for our Pisces. Ooh, the Arrow Master. Hitting the mark, intention and detachment. Okay, so that's very interesting energy, Pisces. There's a couple of things that is going on about here. Like hitting the mark, it's telling me that like you are actually, you're hitting a bit close to home for somebody. You're hitting the mark to, it's a little bit too much for somebody. Even though your intention is good, you're just you're getting a little bit too close to something that somebody is just not quite ready to address within their own selves. And it's just also with the detachment, it's letting us know that this person and yourself, there may be the need to detach yourself from the situation. You may be feeling, you know, the reason I feel like you're trying to, your intentions are to try to help this person, but you may actually just need to detach emotionally from the situation a little bit, because it's just, this person just doesn't feel quite ready to deal with this, to face this within themselves. And you're just hitting a little bit too close to home. So there may just be some detachment going on at the minute with you and someone in the home or the family, where somebody's kind of, it does feel like someone's just sort of giving you the cold shoulder, or like ignoring you, or just trying to get some space from each other. But we'll have a look here. Pisces, home and family messages for Pisces, please. Like, and I don't feel like your intentions are bad here, but it's kind of leaving this person feel like they are a little bit wounded from something that you've maybe said, or the way that you've gone about something with someone here. But we have the Tower here, okay? So that's isolation, all right? The need to detach once again. So somebody needing to, isolate themselves from the truth, I suppose, is probably the best way to look at that. That it's just a little bit too much for them, to be honest. It's too close to home, sort of thing, that this person just can't face this right now. Like, for some of them too, it may actually connect to something, from their foundational, whether that's their foundation as in their childhood, or whether their foundation of, their core belief system, and something that you say or do just hits a little bit too close to that, and makes them feel just unsecure. Because you think about a tower, right? And if one brick is unstable at the bottom, and we push on that, and we kick on that, and we push on that, and we push on that, we're risking the whole tower toppling over. If there's a structural issue right at the bottom, it's not just the bottom that's going to be affected. It's not just the foundation, the core, and I kind of just feel like you're hitting the mark. You're hitting this brick down the bottom, and that's kicking that brick in and pushing that brick out of the formation. And so all of a sudden there's structural damage. So this person is needing to sort of isolate themselves from you, in order to try to right their tower, try to, rebuild their foundation, replace the brick, so to speak. We also have the key, though. So they will open up about this eventually. This is actually, even though it may just be a little bit hurtful for this person right here, right now, this is actually opening the door for them to actually look at this issue and to address this issue. And it's giving them the opportunity. I feel like what it's sort of saying here with the key is that it's you're needing to allow this person, like, to give this person the opportunity to open up to you when they are ready, rather than you hitting the mark over and over and over again and toppling that tower. You then need to sort of step back and allow them to, open the door to that when they are ready to. They've got the keys to fix this within themselves. They, this will lead to success for this person. It's it's giving them the opportunity to address this. It needs to be addressed, and that, and that's why your intentions were good. You were just trying to help them address this and grow and learn and heal, but they just weren't ready. All right. They just feel like their tower is Jenga tower toppling, but there's love. There's a lot of love there, Pisces. We have the heart. Okay, so this is, once again, opening up that heart space to you down the track here. It's just, give it a little bit of time. Allow this person to sort of take the time they need to themselves before they're ready to sort of really, really open up to this. So just don't be surprised if somebody does detach a little bit, isolate themselves a little bit from you, within the family unit, in the next week or so, because, I just feel it does feel relatively short term, so that this, we can get back on track within, a month or so, to back to the love within the month or so, where there's unconditional love there, and they know that you love them, and that your interests, in this, your intention was out of love and care for them. They do know that, but it doesn't stop them being hurt in the meantime, so just softly, Pisces. Okay, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Cross-watch other family members if you like. Make sure you do subscribe, and I will see you all again soon.